Are you relatively comfortable talking about proteins and hearing the word protein and then get a little confused sometimes when you hear people talk about amino acids, and then really confused when you hear people telling you should take a peptide supplement? What is a peptide? What is an amino acid? What is a protein actually? In this short video, I'm going to explain as simply as I can the difference between a protein, a peptide, and an amino acid. Mostly so that you don't have anybody confusing you to make you spend your money. Okay. Your body is built of proteins. Okay. Proteins are the basic building blocks for every tissue and every structure in your body, and also a lot of other chemicals with very specific functions like hormones. They're all proteins. And you make the proteins in your body from the food that you eat. Okay, and you eat protein so that you can break it down and then rebuild it in the form that you need it. Okay, so there's nothing in your body that is made of fish, but you eat fish. You get the protein from the fish, you break it down, you make human protein for you, for your skin, for your bones, for your blood cells, wherever else you need it. All right, so these proteins are enormous molecules, and they're built of much smaller molecules called amino acids. So when you eat protein, when you eat an egg, when you eat some butter, when you eat beans, if you're eating vegetables, and you get the protein out of the beans, those proteins are built out of amino acids. Now, an amino acid itself is quite a complex little molecule, and I just made one. This is an amino acid. Okay, so bear with me while I just explain to you what this is. The black balls here are carbon. It's an organic molecule. Everything organic is built out of based around a chain of carbons, whether it's 2, 3, 10 long. This is organic, okay? So this is a life molecule, you could call it that. And this particular amino acid, this is called serine, not very, very important. But what's very significant is that these amino acids have, on one end, this arrangement. Now, these are oxygen. The red ones are oxygen. The white one is hydrogen. Oxygen, oxygen, hydrogen. So carbon, oxygen, oxygen, hydrogen. This is called a carboxyl group. And this, having this on one end, gives it an acid nature in chemistry, which is why it's called an amino acid. Amino means it's got nitrogen in it, and this blue atom here is nitrogen. Nitrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen, NH2. This is called the amine group. So it is an amino acid. The rest down here is not particularly relevant for this explanation. So this is an amino acid. And if you take two of these, yes, I made two, the amine part can bond onto this carboxyl part, and they can link together. And now you have two amino acids sort of in a short chain. And you can put another one on here, and another one, and another one, and you can make quite long chains. And the moment you have more than one amino acid linked together, you have a peptide. Just means a chain of amino acids, and it can get longer and longer and longer. And it's not universally agreed the exact number, but there are different definitions. But ultimately, this chain will become long enough to make something called a polypeptide, which is lots of amino acids linked together. And then if you take a couple of different chains of these and you wrap them together, you build something really complex, and that's a protein. And it could have 50 amino acids in it. Some scientists don't want to call it a protein until it has 100 amino acids in it, but it doesn't really matter, because every protein in your body that has a specific function has a particular number of amino acids that it needs. Now, an example of a protein, believe it or not, is the hormone insulin. Insulin is in fact a hormone, and it's made up of two chains of these, One of them has 31 amino acids in it. The other one has 20. So those two chains link together, and so you have 51 amino acids in an insulin protein molecule. So you can see now that you have hundreds and hundreds of different proteins in your body, and all the combinations of amino acids are different. Remember I said this is serine. There are a lot of different amino acids, 20, 30 amino acids that your body uses and combines in different combinations. Think of each one as a letter in an alphabet, and then you construct your own words using different combinations of these letters. And not every word is the same length. Some words only have a few letters, some have a lot. Same with proteins. Some have more amino acids than others. So why is this such a big deal? It's a big deal because the protein you build out of these amino acids comes from the amino acids that you eat. And you eat amino acids in the form of some other living being's protein, whether that's a plant or an animal. They've got their proteins. You eat their protein. So the protein from, say, the egg that you eat goes into your stomach. In your stomach, where your acid is really, really strong, you dissolve that protein and break it all down and separate these bonds and break them into individual amino acids. These are small enough then, when they go out of your stomach into your intestine, they go into your gut, and they're small enough that they can be absorbed through the gut wall into your bloodstream. And then they can be carried around and sent where they need to go, to the cells that are going to build the appropriate protein in that part of your body, whether that's cartilage, building collagen, which is a protein in your cartilage cells, or whether that's building more blood cells in your bones, or wherever that's going. Okay, so you break your protein down into amino acids, you then link them all back together in different combinations, and you build human protein from the amino acids you got from eating bean protein or egg protein or chicken protein. So what is this with peptides and peptide supplements? Why are people trying to sell you peptide supplements? Well, a peptide supplement is basically a protein supplement. All it means is that there are chains of these amino acids that aren't complete proteins like you would get if you were eating an egg. They're already partly broken down into smaller chains, and you're eating that. You are still going to dissolve that in your stomach acid and break it down, digest it into amino acids. So taking a peptide supplement and paying a lot of money for it is the same as any protein supplement, and in fact the best, healthiest and cheapest protein supplement is just to eat natural, healthy, whole, protein-rich foods, preferably animal protein, because animals have all the amino acids that you need. Plants don't always. In fact, there are a few amino acids that you will never get from a plant. So your body has to make do with sometimes the incorrect amino acid, which can still work, but doesn't work quite as well and can trigger autoimmune issues. So watch my video about autoimmune problems and plant food. It doesn't affect everybody, but if you do have an autoimmune problem, it's probably worth having a look at that video, and I will link it down the bottom here. So this is the bottom line. Amino acids link together to form peptides. Chains of peptides together form proteins. That's what you're eating. You're eating protein, breaking it down into amino acids, rebuilding them in your body appropriately so you get your proteins. And that is all there is to it. Simple as that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any more of our informative, useful, nutrition and health-based videos.